What astrology is looking at the moment of birth and determining the pattern, where these planets are positioned when you are born, which is essentially showing your pattern, and it is a measurement. It is really tracking the stars and identifying it from a calculation. So,
but you also deal with energy. Like if I say I'm having a problem with somebody, you will tell me where the energy lies and that kind of thing.
Yes, because in a chart there is the moon, which is your personality, your emotional behavior pattern, and then there's the sun, what you are deep within, and what you want to express and what you want to release. And most often, you know, we meet a lot of people who are stuck. They're stuck in the pattern. And what we're seeing is that persona, the mask. And that may not be at all what they're feeling. You know, you and I have talked about this. We know people, and we know them, you know, for having these wonderful spirits and being very delightfully supported. And then all of a sudden they do this ridiculous, restricted thing, and you look and you say, well, this isn't the person that I know. Well, what you got was the mask, and what you got was the restricted pattern.
Yeah, it makes it easier to deal with.
And so I guess when you say I deal with simplicity, it is. It's going past the mask and just simply saying, yes, but what's there?
And into shadows and rhythms, and it makes it all so clear. In fact, if you don't mind, I hold up this, okay, now you brought this with you. Let's see if we can get this on camera. Okay, to 6, you want me to move it over this? Okay, I'll keep it like this, okay? There we go. All right. And can you explain what this is?
Okay.
Looks like an Escher painting.
Well, this is really looking at the moment of this child's birth, and it's showing our solar system and how there's a cluster of little planets here, and then the other 4 are spread out. There's 6 there.
And you're in the middle? You're in the middle.
And then, right, this is the Earth. And then it's showing how you go one step further, and here's the baby, you know, it's moment of birth. And it's showing the pin dots are where the planets were placed. Well, then this becomes that exact moment of birth, and it's identifying where the planets are positioned, and this then shows the pattern. And then you track that as planets move around.
Okay. It was better we went to black just then than a close-up on me that tight. That's very scary. But moving right along.
Yes, but if we go to your spirit, it would be very lovely.
Really?
And that's what astrology does.
You deal with.
Yes. You know, in fact, oftentimes, I really forget who I'm talking to. I really don't get into that. I get into what in depth that individual is all about and what they can be.
It's so funny too, because we've been in situations where afterward you'll say to me, that person had a cloud around them, you know, the negative energy. And I'm always right there, yeah, you're right, that's what it was. And it's much more fair to treat a person like that rather than say, well, he was a jerk. You know, better you should say the energy was just not there.
Because in truth, if he was what he wanted, if he projected what he is deep inside, he wouldn't be a jerk.
Right.
He's only a jerk because somewhere along the line it got, you know, he was in conflict.
Right. Okay.
Some of the people that you're having on later are, you're going to have a delightful time, because we had a discussion off the air.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
And it really, it had to deal with this whole thing of the mask, and then also the substance of the character. And
well, just
I think that's your theme tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm really glad that you told me. Hey, you know, you brought, yeah, for fun, because a lot of what you do is just the sheer fun of living and seeing where people are at. Right. You brought some celebrities well, didn't bring them with you, but you have an idea about what's going to happen for them in '86, just a feeling of where they're going and where their energy will be. Let's take a look at this one. It really, probably one of the last of the great stars, definitely one of the last of the real Hollywood manufactured stars, Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor is going through tremendous changes where there's a purging that is going on. She has to be very careful of who she befriends, because there are some people who want to use and abuse, and they'll do that in different ways. In some ways, it's monetary, but in other ways, it's you know, they'll wear a very good mask, and she has to be extremely cautious about that. Her choices this year are very, very important.
Is she going to go back with her husband, Larry?
I don't know that he would. I mean, I'm thinking in terms of, you know, at least she knew where she was with him, and I think he's trustworthy. I think it's new people that she has to be extremely cautious about.
Well, you say she's purging. She purges her jewelry. Could she purge it over this way? Do you see any of that happening?
No, Jan, no, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Well, we will be coming back with Pat Brown. She has a number of other celebrities with her we'll be talking about, and also more from this very gifted woman. Stay with us. We also have Odessa Jones on, who's going to talk about theater and women in prison doing special kinds of theaters where they explore their own personal histories. Really fascinating stuff. Oh, she's an amazing person. But speaking of amazing people...
She is.
And you just met her. This is Pat Brown, by the way, astrologer Pat Brown. And you just met her and Ed Robertson.
But we had this wonderful discussion that, you know, we can build our own prisons. We don't have to be in prison to do that. If you stifle or you repress deep within who you are, then in a sense you'll find different ways. You know, you'll either be in avoidance or denial or indulgence or supplementing, or you're a very angry person. And all of those are those are signs that essentially you're not being what you should be.
You'd be great at a party where you could tell me who to hang out with and who not to hang out with.
This is what happens with parties, you know.
Okay.
There are certain people I know would be delightful to be around.
And others.
Think about that, yeah.
Now, let us talk about some more celebrities. Just feelings
You're
you have
saying
about
that
what they're
because
going...
that has occurred and happened, I know.
What you think will happen with them in '86, where their energy's going, maybe some blockages. Here's Francis Ford Coppola, who has done some amazing work. Someone I like very much, really admire.
You're going to like him more this year if he does what he's supposed to do. You know, in 1937, there was a configuration, Saturn, which is structure, and Jupiter, which is expansion and pleasure and spirit. And that was the beginning of a lot of great classics. You know, I know all the time you're relating back to that period. Well, those energies are occurring again, and the spotlight's on Francis Ford Coppola. You know, in other words, the idea...
Coppola.
The idea is all around. It's hovering around him. All he has to do is link into it. It's his time, and it's his time to basically do a story about how one person can make a difference in other people's lives, and how we instill the value of the human spirit. So it's coming back to the time that you always talk about. The time
old Hollywood.
Yes.
The old Hollywood.
Yeah, the
movies.
old Hollywood. What is it about? What is the whole old Hollywood about?
Well, what I love about it so much is you actually care about the characters. The protagonist is someone you could believe in and care about. Or even if you don't believe in them, you have some kind of emotional connection. And Coppola does that very well. But
this time, rather than all these other things that you see where he gets a little bit off in the character, or with some characters that are offbeat a little bit, I think that, I mean, what he needs to do with the energy that is occurring is bring it right back to the drama of what that individual is all about.
Terrific.
And which is what you'll be talking about with the others later, too.
Okay, good.
And why they hold the public, you know, eye's attention.
We have another celebrity here, someone I've interviewed and really get a kick out of. Now, this is one of the brightest people in Hollywood, Whoopi Goldberg. She really is. I mean, I've sat down and talked with her, and she is a bright lady.
She's a Scorpio.
Oh,
I forgot to say that Francis Ford Coppola is an Aries. Whoopi Goldberg is a Scorpio with 3 planets in Scorpio. She's a very strong Scorpio. And this is a year where she needs to, everything she's doing, she should do in conjunction with another individual that totally supports the value of what she is. Because it's also continuing to climb the ladder of success, but it's power and politics. And incredible management skills. We're going to see her taking off in different ways as she's...
Maybe producing, maybe really being behind the...
But in conjunction with someone who says, I know who you are, what you think, what you should do, and I'm supportive of it.
Okay, great. Good to know that. Now, here's someone local, somebody we all love. He's coming out in a movie based on La Cage aux Folles with Nathan Lane. I can't wait to see it. I think it's Birds of a Feather, but now they're calling it the Birdcage, I think is what I heard. Anyway, Robin Williams, the talented Robin Williams.
I didn't realize that's what Robin Williams was doing right now. And
won't that be great? Imagine.
Yes, because what Robin Williams should be doing is getting away from the heavy comedy and into something very dramatic. That's where his potential shines this year. In fact, there's an opportunity for him to do something on that line, and then there's an opportunity for him to win an Academy Award with it. It's that strong in his chart.
Well, you know, he did my two favorite Williams performances, Awakenings
and Dead Poets Society?
Well, no, the one where he was the Russian who came...
I loved Awakenings.
Yeah, Awakenings was very good. You know, the one where he's the Russian...
I didn't see that.
Moscow on the Hudson. You should rent this
I
film
didn't see
sometime.
that.
Very good. Also, very dramatic performance.
But what about Dead Poets Society?
Yeah, also great. So
Okay.
that would be nice to see him go in that direction now.
See,
now we have time for just one more. Let's
right.
see if we can get into a man who's going to have a lot of impact on San Francisco, Willie Brown.
Well, Willie Brown has one of the most powerful charts. I mean, you know, how did he win the election? This is why. But also, everything that Willie Brown has been doing up until this moment has been getting him ready for this position. Because the position of mayor, and when he really touches upon his sensitivity and the way he relates to those that are less fortunate, and also those who are basically laying the foundation in this city, how he brings it all together, all the segments of society.
He has such a charisma, a personality.
Right. And if he keeps his finger in the pulse, and if he is vigilant and constant and focused with what the goal he sets for himself in this city, he can really, in 4 years, accomplish unbelievable things.
And how about, let's see if we can sneak in just one more, and this last one is Danielle Steele, also San Francisco.
Okay, I forgot to mention that Willie is born the last day of Pisces, which is the visionary. But Danielle Steele has 5 planets in Leo. And Danielle Steele has a great passion about life. But Danielle Steele, at this point in 96, needs to sit back and really do some deep soul searching, because in doing so, she could reach another level of creativity. And then I think you would be startled about the kind of things she could write about.
All these people are famous, Pat, and don't you think, I meet an awful lot of famous people, and
Right.
they seem caught up in their ego. It seems like that would be something to warn them against.
Well, the influence is that, you know, what is ego? Ego is the personality caught up with, you know, the way the general public sees us. And what spirit is free to be the greatest thing that it could possibly be. That's a very good point. That brings us full circle, because again, it's the moon, which is reflective, and the sun, which is the source.
If you'd like to make an appointment with Pat Brown, she is truly an amazing woman. Here is how you do it for an appointment only. It's Pat Brown. The phone number is 415. You give me so much to think about, Pat. Any final words?
Yeah, well, one thing I wanted to say, they'll get
Yes.
my recorder, and I may not be returning calls for it because I've been inundated with phone calls, but it will be for appointments only. Because, you know, anything else that I would like to say?
What would you like to leave people with?
I would like to leave with this fact that this year, this is a tremendous year for expansion for you and dealing with the joy principle, but adding to what you've already done in a bigger way, big plans on a grand scale.
Woo, Pat! All right, I'm all for that. And on that note, we say thank you so much. I could do hours with you, Pat Brown. You have so much information, so much interesting, heartfelt information to give. So thank you for being here.
It's a delight as always.
And I see a great year for you.
Oh, do you, Jan?
Yes, I do.
How about my trip on the cruise?
Your trip will be wonderful. The cruise is lucky to have you. All right, coming up, we're going to talk with a couple of more fascinating guests. Stay right with us. Pat.